Welcome to the Statline podcast. This is our 10th edition. I'm Safal.
And I'm Atlas, and we're
Let's
back.
get started, Atlas. Oh man, another great week of football. Monday Night Football featuring your boys, the Eagles. What was the game? How was the game for you?
The game was a snooze fest,
10
Jordan
to
Love.
7 in the Big 25, featuring the two best teams in the NFC. What the hell's going on, man?
It's crazy, man. We started the week off with a terrible Thursday night matchup between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Denver Broncos, which finished 10-7, and we ended the week with two better teams, or at least more enjoyable to watch, in my opinion, teams, the Green Bay Packers and the Philadelphia Eagles, and
And then
that
let's
ends
not forget
10-7.
about Sunday Night Football. That was not a pretty game either between the Chargers and Steelers.
Yeah, dude. Unk status was in full effect in Sunday Night Football, and uh, the Chargers just whooped some classic Pittsburgh ass. So that
I
was
mean, he overthrew like every throw, every important throw in the game. He overthrew him. The one to Jonnu Smith, like when Jonnu Smith was probably gonna score a touchdown. The one to DK that would have been a touchdown if you put it on him. There's a couple other plays like to Calvin Austin. There's another one where like he tried to force feed to DK and then he missed wide open Kenneth Gainwell and Pat Fryermuth on another play. Like it was just a brutal watch for Aaron Rodgers.
yeah, brutal watch. But let's focus, I guess, first on that Monday Night Football
Well, I want
game.
to bring up something else. Like, have
Okay,
you seen the stories about Aaron Rodgers' like fake wife potentially?
I haven't. Wait, enlighten me.
Dude, dude.
I
Okay,
have not heard
Aaron
about this.
Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers in the offseason said like oh yeah like he showed up to the training camp with a wedding ring and then
Mhm.
told everyone in media like oh hey like yeah like I got married a few months ago like I'm keeping my wife like private like I don't want her to be come to the public spotlight and whatnot like I want my life to be private and fair point, but now it's been like a few months. We're in November now. He said this back in like July. We're not now in November, and there's a report by the Daily Mail, which is like this tabloid in the UK, that said like, oh, none of the Steelers like other wives and girlfriends like of the other players have met Aaron Rodgers' wife. They've asked Aaron Rodgers like many times on like where is she? When do we get to meet her? And they have yet to meet her. And like the conspiracy online is Aaron Rodgers does not have a wife, and he's just telling everyone he does.
Is this a Manti Te'o situation? Like, does he think he has a wife?
Oh
And
no.
no,
Okay, I
this
don't want to
this is
like
just
laugh
him.
about the Manti Te'o situation. That was pretty serious. Have you seen the Netflix documentary on that?
I have.
Dude, oh, like that was brutal, man. Like I don't want to. I
Some
know like
dark
people
times
like
for him for
yeah,
sure.
though that is some dark times to go through, dude. I don't wish that upon anyone. Like
No, me neither. But yeah, I have not heard about this Aaron Rodgers situation. Is there a possibility that she lives in like another country? Like he met her at an ayahuasca retreat, and
in Peru,
yeah, in Peru, and like she doesn't
in
want
the
to get out
Peruvian
there
jungles.
because like she's deep into the ayahuasca scene, so maybe she doesn't want to get publicized because then the whole ayahuasca may get brought into light again, and that could be a potential off of the top of
But
my
I don't
head.
think Aaron
Just
Rodgers cares about that ayahuasca stuff anymore. All the NFL players are in on it now. Like Jordan Poyer, Von Miller, like all these guys do it with him.
really,
Yeah, yeah. Like I
I
think
did
it's
I
pretty
did see
widely
Jordan
accepted now.
Poyer. I did see Jordan Poyer did it, but I didn't know Vaughn was in on it too.
Yeah, yeah.
So that
Von
was
Miller did it. I think there was someone else who talked about it as well. I don't know who it was, but another like famous. I think J.K.
probably
Dobbins or
like
someone.
probably like Matt Collins or something.
Matt Collins. Maybe, yeah. But either way, let's go back to the Packers Eagles, I guess. Like, what'd you think? Like, there was a 3-point game. I get it was a snooze fest, but like, I mean, the Eagles did get with the win, even though it was an ugly win. Like,
Oh
and
yeah,
did you
dude.
agree with that? Yeah, go ahead.
It was so ugly, man. And I know you're about to say, did you agree with that fourth down call at the end of
Yeah,
the game? No, I didn't agree with it. And Jalen should have put it on the money because on the back shoulder he would have had AJ Brown out there for the touchdown. But that's not a play that you even run at that point in the game. Like, try to draw them off sides and then just punt it deep. Try to pin them inside the 5 yard line, make them go the length of the field, get to the field goal range, Obviously we had frigid conditions up in Lambeau, and McManus isn't the best kicker this year to begin with. He's very washed. But he shouldn't have even had an opportunity to kick that field goal. But speaking of quarterbacks, I think that Jordan Love and Jalen Hurts basically had a mirror game. Like, both teams weren't doing much. They ended up driving all the way towards the goal line, and both quarterbacks fumbled. You had Jalen Hurts fumble first, and then the Packers take over, get down the field, and then Jordan Love obviously fumbled afterwards, which I was happy to see as an Eagles fan. But yeah, the game was pretty much a snooze fest. If you weren't
But
one of
okay,
the two.
I want to go back to that 4th and 6 play, right? I will actually defend Nick Sirianni on this. It's a 4th and 6 from the Green Bay 35. If you punt that football, like unless it gets down at the 1 yard line inside the 5 or inside the 10, you're probably like losing about 10 to 15 yards of field position to the Green Bay Packers. If you kick a field goal, let's say the chance Jake Elliott makes that kick is, it'd be what, like a 59-yard field goal or like 56, somewhere around there. What's the chances Jake Elliott makes that field goal? 50% maybe? 70%? I
Probably
don't
a
really
little bit
know.
more than 50, but I mean,
But
in
70%. Let's
Lambeau,
say,
it's going to be hard.
yeah, in Lambeau and in a windy day, like cold day, right? We don't know what the percentages are there, and if they like miss that kick, Green Bay gets really good field position to get into field goal range. You have 30 seconds left on the clock. If you go for it, you end the game. Worst case, Green Bay will get the ball at the 35-yard line, which is the kickoff like touchback spot anyway nowadays. So I think because of the field position situation there, I actually did not hate that decision to go for it. I think it was fine for Nick Sirianni to go for it. Now Jalen Hurts chucking it up to AJ Brown. We can talk about that one a little bit, and I know you want to get into AJ Brown in a bit, but like I agreed with Nick Sirianni's decision there.
I don't agree. I definitely don't agree with the play call, regardless of the decision,
Yes,
because
maybe
like
the
you
play
don't.
call is like, what are you doing throwing it 30 yards down the field on 4th and 5, or 4th and 6?
Throw a 8 yard slant to Devonta Smith or AJ Brown or Goddard. You got talent out there on the outside that you can pick your poison, but throwing a shot to the end zone really wasn't the ideal situation there for the Eagles. Obviously we did end up winning, but man, too much stress at the end of that game. Up and
I hate Eagles fans. Let me tell you why, okay? Let me tell you why. The Eagles are 7-2 right now. You're fucking 7-2, dude. Like, what are you talking about stress with? Do you know how bad it is to be a Panthers fan? Like, think about the Eagles fans, okay? You won the Super Bowl last year. You made the playoffs the year before. The year before that, you made the Super Bowl and almost beat Mahomes. Like, what? What do you? And every year, like the Eagles fans are always so down on the team, and it makes me angry seeing this. Like, you're probably the second most successful franchise in the NFL over the past 4 years since Nick Sirianni's gotten there.
I
Like,
I I agree, but
the
there's been
Sirianni's a great coach. He figures out ways to win games. He like yesterday, that is a snooze fest, like you called it. Just another just a defensive battle, and somehow he wins that game against Mahomes, right? In the first Super Bowl, it's a shootout. Somehow he's right there in the end of the game. Like the only bad stretch of Sirianni's career is that like 6 game losing streak that he had the year after they lost the Super Bowl in 2023. Outside of that, and the Eagles are just fantastic. They get the job done, whatever it is, whether it's by doing the tush push, throwing it on 4th and 6 from the opposing 35 with 25 seconds left to go down 3. Whatever it is, they figure it out, and I respect Sirianni.
No, I respect him. I'm obviously happy to be an Eagles fan. This is like the golden years of the franchise right now. I'm happy to
Don't take it for
witness it.
granted, man.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm not. I think last
I
year was
remember this
my
guy when we had this guy, and I thought we are gonna be dominating for 15 years in this league.
last year I think was like one of the best football teams ever assembled, put out there on the field, and I was happy
Ever
to see.
assembled?
Dude, you
I
look
don't
at
know
the
about
talent.
that.
Look at the talent on the 2024 Eagles, and look at the talent on the 2025 Eagles. It's pretty, polarizing how much differences that we lost on defense, especially. I was just running through the Super Bowl clips from this past year against the Chiefs. Man, most of the players that were making the big plays on defense are gone. They're
Who
off the
outside
team.
of Darius Slay, who did you guys really lose?
Isaiah Rogers, Josh Sweat, Milton Williams,
Okay,
Brandon Graham for half of the season.
okay,
There's
all those guys are your main guys. Who are the best players on the defense on the Eagles? Jalen Carter, he's still there. What's a linebacker's first name? I always mess up
Zach
between
Bond.
Derek. Zach Bond. Zach Bond. Like those are your two best defensive players. They are still there. Zach Bond might be the best linebacker in football. Jalen Carter might be the best interior defensive lineman next to Derek Brown in all of football.
No, I
When you
agree.
have when you have that, and you can't forget about the boys, Cooper DeJean and Reed Blankenship, or
The
yeah,
exciting whites.
the exciting whites.
No, I love the team, and obviously Howie Roseman's done a crazy job. He finds the weak points on the team. One of our weaknesses was cornerback. We decided to get Jair Alexander, and then he retires. Obviously, that didn't go as planned. But getting Jalen Phillips, on the other hand, and him being the best player on the field against the Packers was something that, obviously I was happy to watch. Howie continues to cook. The rest of the league is scared of Howie Roseman. But every single year, there's just something with the Eagles. Like, we get a new offensive coordinator every year. There's one of the coordinators on either of the sides. Luckily, we have Vic Fangio. He's provided some stability. I hope he stays with us the rest of his coaching career. But yeah, on the offensive side, going from Kellen Moore to Kevin Patullo, of course you're going to have doubts. Even at 7-2, there's a lot of questions to be asked, and especially with AJ Brown. I know you mentioned him as well earlier, but like, man, you're 7-2 and you just beat the Green Bay Packers, but you decide to go talk to a Twitch streamer on Madden and tell him that your year is going terribly. Have you been watching the news? If you have me on fantasy, trade me. Like, these types of things you don't need to be saying when you're in that
on,
position.
on a defending Super Bowl champion who has the best record in all of football.
Yeah.
Insanity.
And he even said to reporters, he was like, "Yeah, y'all got me a ring, thank you, but this is a new season, and like, our team is not gonna do this in the playoffs if we want to win. Like, we can't be doing what we're doing right now. We can't have the defense bail us out every
I
single
look,
game."
I can agree with AJ Brown, but to do it publicly is crazy work on a team that successful.
No, I agree, and I agree with Nick Sirianni. He said he doesn't want to be asked any more questions about AJ Brown. Like, let the chips fall where they fall this year. But if he continues to want to be a diva over the offseason, it's time to move on from him. This is the first time I've ever thought that, I've ever said that, because I've defended his behavior off the field because of how good and how polarizing of a player that he is, and how much he can take our team to the next level. If Smith went down, God forbid, then obviously AJ Brown's going to be the one. Obviously, he may be the one without Smith being injured, but obviously not this season. As Smith has continued to show why he was the Heisman winner, and basically took over this game against the Packers with that touchdown that he had. So I love Smith, and you never hear anything about Smith off the field. That's how AJ Brown should be. You went from the Titans to the Eagles. You just, like, we saved your life. I mean, we took you from the Titans,
Okay.
a
Okay, I'm
bottom
gonna
feeder.
defend AJ Brown right now. Let me tell you this, Atlas. If you told AJ Brown you can go play for Mike Vrabel and Drake May up in New England, or you want to stay in Philadelphia and play with Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni, what do you think he's choosing?
I mean, evidently with his actions, he wants to be elsewhere. So if the Patriots is the place for him, then that's the place for him. But why would the
I think the
Eagles?
Patriots are gonna trade for AJ Brown this offseason.
I
I
mean,
mean,
they're
they're
gonna
not in the
try.
same conference. They're not in the same conference, right? Like, I think it makes sense. I thought they were gonna do it at the trade deadline.
No, I don't think there was any reality of AJ Brown leaving the Eagles this season. Like, there's no reason to
They
trade
don't
him.
use him.
Dude, there's no reason to trade top 10, top 20 NFL wide receiver for, a first round pick that you can't even use this season. Like, you're going for a Super Bowl, and I still stand by that. If you're going for a Super Bowl, you don't trade that type of talent. And so next year is going to be a little bit different. Off season, we'll see what happens, but I'm hoping, we win the
He's
Super Bowl.
definitely out of there by the offseason. Even if the
Yeah,
Eagles win the Super Bowl, I think he's out of there this offseason.
Yeah, this is like a
I mean,
Terrell Owens level distraction for the Eagles, and it's great having this talented receivers, but sometimes it's great to have some homegrown guys out there, and that's why I love Devonta Smith so much. But yeah,
Devontae
AJ
Smith
Brown,
just keeps quiet and goes out there and balls.
yeah, Slim Reaper, bro, he just continues to
I
show
know,
up.
dude. I traded him one of my fantasy leagues. Biggest mistake.
Dude, I
I
tried to
traded
trade for
Genty and Devontae for Nico Collins. Nico had a good week last week, and like honestly, Genty is whatever. But I really regret throwing Devontae Smith in that trade.
yeah, if you could have packaged somebody else like Cortland Sutton
Yeah.
or something, then
Uh.
that would have been a good addition to your team. Nico Collins is
Yeah.
still a beast. Davis Mills is going to get him the ball if
For
CJ
sure.
Stroud's out again. But yeah, we'll see how it plays out for your the rest of your fantasy season. But I mean, even me, I'm delusional. I think AJ Brown's going to get 100 yards every time that he steps out there.
Oh.
Dude, I tried to trade for him
You
in
and I
multiple
play.
leagues.
Also, I just realized it's you versus me this week in fantasy, dude.
Yeah, dude, I'm out of playoff contention at the moment, but I need to rattle off a couple wins in a row, and then we'll be sitting back in a spot we like. I've lost three straight in fantasy. It's not looking good. I just lost Garrett Wilson for multiple weeks, but is that a good thing or a bad thing? The way that he's been playing, I don't know. But yeah, so we'll see how this goes. I got Kyle Pitts at my tight end because Tyler Warren's on bye. I know your team is stacked. You got your like two top three, top two receivers almost,
For
and so
sure.
that's hard
JSN
to
and Puka.
go up against, man. And yeah, so I got my work cut out for me,
And
but I
my
think
running
it should
backs
be a good
aren't that
matchup.
bad either. Derrick Henry and Javante.
I like Woody Marks to be honest. Like I got him
Yeah, I'm
starting in my
playing Woody
other
Marks
league.
over DK this week.
Yeah, let's see how that goes. I hope it's a DK pop off and Woody Marks gets as run of the mill numbers. You know what I'm
I
saying? Because
don't know. By the end of the week, I might put in DK.
we'll see. We'll see. I
Yeah.
mean, I would be happier if you put DK in probably because I got Woody Marks starting on my other squad, so I can root against completely DK
My
and then have.
defense is kind of ass though. I have the Panthers defense at Atlanta. I mean, I don't know. I'm going by projection. Oh, Dalton Kincaid is out as well.
Yeah, we'll see. We're both not at full strength, and it's late in the season. You got to deal with the
I mean,
bye
honestly,
weeks.
my team this year, like injury wise, I haven't been bitten that too much, other than Chris Godwin not being like healthy, like this far. Like Brandon Ayuk,
Yeah.
I expected to be coming back around this time. I don't know when he's coming back, but like I knew those two guys were hurt when I took, drafted them.
Yeah, it's a risk reward. Like if
Yeah.
Godwin comes back and like is anywhere close to what he's been, then you
Last year
got
he
to
was wide
steal him.
receiver one when he got hurt.
Yeah, no, I was on the same strategy. I almost took him, where I took Keon Coleman. Obviously, that was a bad pick, but Chris Godwin would have been even
I wish
worse.
I took Rashi Rice, dude.
Dude, I
I think I
tried to
took
get him.
Tyrone Tracy over Rashi Rice.
No, I tried to get him. I think Tucker took him pretty early for our league. I mean,
Oh,
obviously,
really?
it's worked out, having Rasheed Rice, but his team is, you know, it was an issue for him because he had CeeDee Lamb as well. So he's like, okay, I got CeeDee Lamb, Marvin Harrison. They're gonna carry the load until Rasheed Rice gets back. Marvin Harrison had a midget quarterback that didn't do anything, and then CeeDee Lamb got injured, so it really didn't work out for him. I kind of had the same battle in my other league. I had Puka and I have Rice, but everybody else kind of has fallen off to the wayside, gotten injured. Same thing with Chris Godwin. I was hoping either Rice or Godwin was going to plug and play right away, but neither one was healthy or activated, I should say, from suspension. So Rashi Rice, yeah,
If you want
that's
to
my
make a
dog.
trade, Atlas, I'll make a trade for Tyler Warren.
Yeah, Tyler Warren's not coming off my squad unless you give me some good assets.
You like Woody Marks, right? I'll give you Woody Marks for Tyler Warren.
No, I'll give you Kyle
What?
Pitts for Woody Marks.
I'll give you Woody Marks and Kincaid for Tyler Warren.
Is Kincaid even going to be healthy past this week?
I mean, of course, past this week he will.
He's had what was it, like a hamstring injury or something?
Yeah, I think it's a hamstring, and
Yeah,
Kincaid's been popping off.
it's been popping off, but he's had multiple weeks where he's been out, and like I think that a hamstring injury is the type of thing where they're just gonna hold him out until he's 100% at this point. I mean, actually, they may rush him back because they really need him. The rest of their receiving core is
But I mean,
very
like I said,
pedestrian.
I'll give you Kincaid and Woody Marks for Tyler Warren.
Nah, I don't think that really helps me. I need Stafford.
Okay, we could work with that. Well, what's your um? Okay, I'll give you Stafford. Okay, I'll do Stafford for Tyler Warren straight up.
Nah, I'm not doing it. I need multi. Like this is a top three tight end this year,
Okay,
and it's
I'll give you Stafford and Kincaid for Tyler Warren.
we'll talk about this offline. But I'm
Okay,
not.
okay. Let's talk about it offline.
I'm not sure, man. He's
No, you
been
don't
one of
want live negotiations on the pod.
he's one of my bright spots on my team. There's a couple bright spots, and the rest is just eh, So I gotta kind of work with what I got. I gotta. All right, so
Yeah.
this is a formal notice to the rest of Wake STEM Early College. If you no, I should say Wake STEM Premier League, Football League. Uh,
Early college.
that's crazy. I just exposed us, but yeah. So if you want Tyler
That's fine,
Warren,
dude. Loud
you're
and
gonna have
proud.
to
This is our
beat.
Sunday night. This is our Sunday night football intro. You know, it's the fall. Wake Stem Early College High School. Like, uh,
Atlas Raleigh. I'm just kidding.
uh,
No, but so this is to the rest of the STEM league. If you want Warren, if you want any of the other guys, you got a bidding war, because it's about to be the trade deadline. And, if you want a premier tight end to make your playoff push, then you know who to hit up. I'm not necessarily offering him up, but he is available for the
he's
right
gonna be on
price.
my team in a week, guys. Don't worry. He'll be on my team in a week. Maybe at the end of this week.
We'll see. We'll see. I can't
But
just drop him off right after he drops like 20 points for me. But
I'm giving you Dalton Kincaid, who just put up 22 points,
and is
and I'm
injured.
giving you Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, Stafford would help my team because I'm like kind of
Yeah.
struggling at quarterback. But other than that, doing okay, I guess. But
I need you to throw me who's your quarterback? Bo Nix. I'll if you
maybe,
if I give you Stafford, I need a QB in return.
yeah, Jacoby
Like
Brissett.
no, fuck that. I don't want Jacoby Brissett. You can keep him, bro. NC State legend.
Yeah, he's gonna be my starter going forward because I can't trust Bo Nix, bro. He dropped
Okay,
five.
I'll trust Bo Nix. Like in that. Okay, we'll talk about the trade offline. But right now, the current offer is Tyler Warren and Bo Nix for Matthew Stafford and Woody Marks. Or
Mm,
Dalton Kincaid, not Woody Marks. Sorry, not Woody Marks. Got me messed up.
you're tweaking if you don't think all three of those people are worth just Tyler Warren.
That's what? Dude, he's a tight end.
A tight
Tight
end. So
ends are
that
like
means if you have a good tight end, like if do you expect Camden to trade McBride? I know that Warren
okay,
is
but McBride is the top. And then there's like the tier of Ferguson, Kittle, Tyler Warren, like like Kincaid, like
no,
there are those
Kincaid's
guys in
not in
there.
that tier. Don't try. I had Kincaid last year, bro. I already did the trade for Kincaid, and it didn't help my
No, but
team out.
Kincaid last year and this year is different, bro. Kincaid's way better this year.
Yeah, but you don't know which week Shakir is gonna pop off, and Kincaid may not get any catches. So.
I mean, that's the same with Tyler Warren, dude. Like he's been shut down this year a couple times.
He's still getting catches though. He gets receptions every game, regardless of his shutdown that you say. But okay,
Yeah, I'll do.
we'll talk
Okay,
about
right
this
now the
offline.
final offer is Bo Nix and Tyler Warren for Matthew Stafford and Dalton Kincaid.
Okay, that's your final offer. Okay, I have time to deliberate. So,
All right.
by the next episode of the podcast, we'll give you an update on if he is able to
All right.
squeeze him
Let's
from
talk
me.
some NFL then. Like, I want to talk about the Panthers game. Okay. Bryce Young. It's such an interesting study here because at the end of the year, the Carolina Panthers are going to have to make a decision. Do we exercise Bryce Young's fifth-year option? That's decision one. And there's a world out there. If Bryce Young keeps on stinking it up this year, the way he did this past Sunday, there's a world out there where the decision the Carolina Panthers make is forget exercising the fifth-year option. We might bring in a new quarterback for next year. Where do you think like we're gonna fall there? That's a pretty wide spectrum. Exercising the fifth-year option and committing Bryce Young to be your franchise quarterback to we're gonna cut him and like bring in a new quarterback, and both of those are in the realms of possibilities here, given how the next 8 games go. I mean, this is literally Bryce Young's career-defining run right here, and with the Carolina Panthers. I know we've had Sam Darnold in the past, we've had Baker Mayfield in the past. These guys have gone on to blossom, as MVP candidates for Tampa and Seattle, and Bryce Young might do the same once he leaves us. But I mean, like, what do you think, Atlas? What do you think of that game, dude? It hurts
Dude,
being a Young fan.
this is crazy because this is like when Scott Hansen on Red Zone, at the end of the first slate of games, as the third quarter winds down, the fourth quarter starts. This is the witching hour for Bryce Young, where wins become losses and
Perfectly put.
losses become wins. Because you've had all these past few years to get it right. You've had coaching change, obviously. You got a whole new staff in there now, and I think that he's got the talent to be an elite quarterback still in the league. And obviously, you can't teach some things, and one of those things is like how to win games late. It kind of takes experience, but also it takes like a couple, moment like defining moments, which he's had in his past, where you can be proven to be a leader at the end of the games, win close games. But then you got the rest of the game. And so everything is like very polar with Bryce Young, because you never know, like, should I believe in the first 3 quarters, or should I believe what he does at the end of the game if it's a one-score game? But as you said, with this past week's game, it is hard, trying to root for Bryce Young, because some of his throws, like most of his throws against the Saints, were just off. Like they were.
And like he has one game where he's thrown more than 200 yards, and that was against the Cardinals because the Panthers fell like early on in the game by 2 possessions because of Bryce's turnovers.
Yeah, it
Like
was a
it's
typical Dak, garbage time, 300-yard
yeah.
performance type of game.
Other than that, Bryce Young has not thrown for 200 yards. Now, I've come on this podcast and defended Bryce Young throughout the season, talking about how he delivers us wins, and he does. Okay, and that's why I root for Bryce Young, because when he is clutch, anytime we're in a 2-minute situation at the end of the game, I trust Bryce Young, and that is a big thing to say. To have that type of trust in your quarterback. But when you're playing against the worst team in the league, starting Tyler Shuck, their second-round QB in his first career game, and he massively outperforms you, we have a problem there. Like, that was an easy win for the Panthers. We're supposed to be a playoff contender this year. We just beat the Packers on the road. We beat, the Cowboys a few weeks ago. We've had quality wins. Like, this is the type of game where we should have put the gas on the throttle and won. And I cannot believe we let that slip. We got Atlanta this week. I hope he pulls it through against Atlanta. He usually does. I think like 4 of his 12 career wins are against Atlanta. So Bryce generally does do really well against Atlanta. Let's see what he does this weekend.
Yeah, let's see, man. It's coming up close. I really don't see the argument for them not taking the fifth-year option though, and just going with the new quarterback next year. But it is crazy to see how different perspectives that the Panthers fans have. I actually just today was looking on Instagram, and I saw a Panthers fan comment that they wanted like Carson Beck to be the quarterback next year.
Okay, I don't know about that.
I'm like, yeah. So you see Bryce Young, and then you're like, let me go get Bryce Young 2.0, I guess, with Carson Beck. No, I do think Bryce Young is more talented, obviously, than Carson Beck, but Carson Beck, I guess, has the size to work
And
with,
I
and
just
has
know,
won some big games as well.
I just know, Atlas, that the moment Bryce Young leaves Carolina, he's going to be an MVP candidate. I just know it. He's going to go to San Francisco with Kyle Shanahan, or he's going to go to LA and back up Matthew Stafford. He'll go to Minnesota and back up JJ McCarthy. He'll
Go to
do
Vegas.
go to Vegas, or I don't know about Vegas, but I'm talking about going to like just coaches that know how to turn your career around. Whether it's Kevin O'Connell, Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, one of these types of like cornerstone offensive like guys go turn his career around and go be an MVP candidate. Because I mean, he was the number one overall pick. His talents you can see it's there, right? Like I mean, he led a 98 yard, almost led a 98-yard game-winning drive against the eventual Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles last year. He threw 5 touchdowns and 350 yards against the Falcons at the end of the year last year. This year, led that game-winning field goal drive against Green Bay on the road against that Micah Parsons defense last week. He has shown that he can win games in this league. And I just don't know if it's on him, if it's the coaching staff, if it's the roster. It's so frustrating being a Panthers fan. We just don't know. We've been so bad for so long. I just don't know.
Yeah, it's hard because like obviously you can't say that he's had like an optimal level of talent around him, and this year is really the first year that he's had a true wide receiver that he can actually throw to in T-Mac. But you know, Adam Thielen was getting the job done last year, but we've seen what he's done with the Vikings this year, nothing. So yeah, I love Bryce Young and I hope it turns around for him, but I think that they should invest a little bit more in their offense. Obviously, their running back group is solid. Their receivers are getting better, but you need a couple like game changers on the outside. And I think T Mac is one of them. So I think replace XL with somebody else coming from the draft. Maybe get Carnell Tate or somebody and really have something to work with out there.
If we
And
can get Mendoza, I wouldn't mind that.
Mendoza, yeah. So you're
Yeah.
done with the Bryce Young thing.
I mean, I hope not. I hope not. But if we can get our hands on Mendoza, I wouldn't mind it.
I like Ty Simpson to be honest from Alabama. Like it's hard to say like what somebody's gonna do in the
Yeah,
NFL.
and
That's
I don't
why.
watch college football enough to understand, like, I know a quarterback's going to do well in the NFL, but when I watch Mendoza play, like, at that end of the game winning drive against Penn State this past week, like, he looked good, you know? Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, no, he's able to win, you know, some big games, and they're still undefeated up in Indiana. So, shout out to Signetti and the boys up there in Indy. They're doing their thing for sure. But yeah, so I think Bryce Young's gonna at least have one more year to prove himself, but it is getting close to the end of his tenure in Carolina if he can't elevate his play a little bit more, at least for the consistency of the full game. You know, just to be able to keep that same level of play. You can't get down to any deficits. You can't you know, you gotta take what you got. You know, start running the ball with Rico to start the game, get a 7 point, 10 point lead, and then work from there. You can game manage all you want from that point. But if you're starting off on a deficit, then it's really hard for Bryce Young to kind of turn it around early into the game, and then you're looking at desperation moments at the end of the game, which may not always work into your favor. But yeah, it's frustrating for sure.
Let's go through a couple of big games this week, Atlas. We got Seattle at the Rams. Who you got in this one? Big one
Dude,
in the
it is a
NFC
big one.
West.
It is a big one. Like Sam Darnold, Matthew Stafford, you got elite
MVP
receivers on both
candidates.
sides. Yeah.
Matthew Stafford might
Um,
be on your roster by the end of the week.
I'm not worried about Stafford, but yeah, he's dealing right now, man. He's getting. I mean, Devonte Adams seems like his favorite target, even though he has Puka. Like 25% target share since he's been with the Rams this season is absolutely crazy. I think he has 9 touchdowns this year. Like he's still Devonte Adams, like as much as you know people kind of cast him off for the past year or so, probably since his debacle with the Raiders. I feel like people kind of called him washed a couple times, but he's always been that guy, and you know it's perfect to see like an older receiver and an older quarterback gel together like that, and he's really the perfect fit for the LA Rams, and I think that they made a big upgrade from Cooper Kupp to Devonte Adams, which is really elevating the whole Rams roster. But it's going to be tough because the Seahawks defense is really solid this year, and the Rams too. They both kind of beat down on their other NFC West sons, I guess you could say, this year because the Cardinals and the 49ers are not anywhere in those two teams' league.
I mean,
But yeah, so
I know you're an Eagles fan, but to me, they're the two best teams in the NFC. After watching the Eagles and the Packers play this past Monday night, I think I'm comfortable saying that the Seattle Seahawks and the LA Rams are the two best teams in the NFC.
I don't think that's hard to say, but like we'll see what Sam Darnold does in the playoffs because he still has not proven himself as solidified playoff quarterback. So
No, no, I think that's unfair because he has way too many like regular season games where he's been so good, MVP level games at this point, that I think you can safely say Sam Darnold is one of the elite quarterbacks in football at this point. He won 14 games last year in Minnesota and took over a completely new team and is now like, he lost two very like close games as well. He's only lost two games. One was against San Francisco where they were driving down the field. They were at the San Francisco like 15 in week one, and there was a strip sack. And the other one was against Baker Mayfield in a shootout with the game ending 38-35. Sam Darnold's been fantastic this year, and we all know about Jackson Smith and Jigba. The best receiver in football at this point.
oh yeah, he's the first to 1,000 yards. I gotta give my flowers to him. I had him his rookie year. Obviously he was stuck in that Shane Waldron offense, but now with we got some new talent, we got some new blood. Geno Smith is not back there, and he's really showing up,
Mike
showing off.
McDonald.
Mike McDonald and no more DK, so the real number one in Seattle really showed up this year, and hope he continues. Hope he stays healthy the rest of the way because we're witnessing history, and he could easily pass Calvin Johnson's record. So I'm hoping for that, and hoping he continues. But it's hard to really pick this game. I'm still going to go with the Rams just based off of experience. This is the Seahawks' first year of real relevancy as far as being at the top of the NFC for the past I'd say like 5 or 6 years since Russell Wilson fell off. Was the last time that they were at this level, and even now, even then, I feel like they weren't to this level. Like, I mean, JSN, like, just a completely captivating player, and then the addition of Demarcus Lawrence to their defense, coming from the Cowboys to the Seahawks, I think has really shaped their team up, and he got 2 touchdowns last week. So, man, the Seahawks are going to be hard to beat, but I'm gonna pick the Rams this game.
I like the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks are the best team in the NFL right now. The way they're playing, that defense is fantastic. The offense is unstoppable. They have the best passing game in all of football right now, and they have two solid running backs in Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet. They have a good 1-2 punch going on. Like they have a solid offensive line for Sam Darnold. They have good, they have great receiving core with Jackson Smith and Jigba. They just added Rashid Shaheed. I love me Seattle this year and this week again. Matthew Stafford's been playing out of his mind right now. I mean, I think right now Stafford's probably the MVP favorite, but I still like Seattle in this game. It'll be interesting to see. But I think that was good 37 minutes of talking Atlas. I think we can end it now. We'll see everyone next week on the Statline podcast, and we'll update you guys on our trade negotiations right after this podcast. See you guys.
Thank you guys.